Dude, and we're live. And right before I hit record, I was just saying I like three ways a lot, but I'm only referencing in podcasts world, of course. Because when you're hanging out with a couple different guys, it gives you time to sit back and drink some coffee and take some bites of my apples. When I'm doing solo casts, it's fucking go, 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 go.
Yeah, that's a long time to talk.
And so we're going to do a rant cast today, like I do, except we invited Toby Foulke and Tyler Stanaway, who are podcast regulars, back on this episode to fucking dissect a bunch of bullshit that's going on in our world. And they're always down to do that. And this is going to be a fucking good one. I'm excited.
Can I tee it off by going a slightly different direction than we were right before we started?
Yep. Let me say one thing real quick,
Do it.
and then it's all you. Because I like to give listeners authenticity and let them know what's up. Because I think they were expecting another Greg and Mitch show. Because I spent the weekend, Mitch got his black belt under me, and you know what? It just, the vibe wasn't there for a podcast. It is what it is. Everybody deals with real life shit, and I'm not going to go into any of the details, but it just wasn't a good vibe for that night to do a podcast. Therefore, you will not be receiving that. You'll be receiving this instead. So be fucking grateful. All right, let's hear it, Foulke. What's in your mind?
Oh man. All right. So when you hit us up the other day and asked what if we'd want to sit down and talk, I was like, yes, because I think it's really important to start kind of pushing it upon first responder types, like particularly sheriffs and police officers, that these guys need to start kind of thinking about where their true alliance lies, whether it's with sort of their elected elite masters, or if it's with the citizens. Because I think that after the new year, after the midterms, we'll be headed back into another round of like lockdowns and bullshit rules and stuff like that. And you know what I mean? It'll be almost like we're right back to the beginning of 2020.
Oh yeah.
I think you're absolutely correct.
Well, and what's going to come down is gun control stuff. Look at what's going on right now. And then what's the funny thing is, I always say when people say, yeah, I support gun control, like, okay, what's step 2?
Yeah.
You just banned them. What's step 2?
And also,
do you send the police house to house? What's your plan?
What part of shall not be infringed is congruent with gun control? The truth is absolutely fucking nothing.
No, you're right. I mean, arguing that with people is sort of, at this point, everybody's entrenched on one side or the other. I just, from the people who want to take the guns, I always want to hear, like, what is your plan, by the way? Because especially when a bunch of people like us say no. Like, I'm not even trying to hide it. I'm not faking a boat accident.
No, no.
I'm just saying no.
Yeah, all my guns did not get lost in a boating accident. And some of my guns are bedside with a set of body armor and a bunch of spare magazines fully fucking loaded. And when you're ready to take it, please let me know how it works out for you. Yeah. And bro, like I talk about all the time, this isn't tough guy talk. This isn't like, oh, I'm going to get more downloads, or I want listeners to think we're badass. Like, I don't want to be badass. I already fought in fucking wars. I'm 41 years old. I want to be fucking a jiu-jitsu coach and a fucking parent. I don't want to have to go down this fucking path.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, I think it's inevitable.
I do too. And that's why I want the police to start thinking about it, because the people who are going to enact the laws, they're not brave. They're cowards. So they're going to send hired agents to do their bidding for them. And it's time for people to start thinking, when that order comes down, what are you going to do? Because if you wait till the last minute to figure it out, you're just going to end up going along with it out of not knowing. So you got to take the time to consider now.
Well, bro, there's a lot of police officers, and I think it's pretty clear what our stance is on law enforcement officers. We support the good ones, and the shitty ones should hang by their fucking neck, dude. That's where I'm at on it. And if you're listening and you're a cop and you don't agree with me, well, you need to take a long look in the mirror, because the shitty fucking cops are what is going to ruin the fucking profession for everybody. And when you have a bunch of fucking cops that just arbitrarily follow rules and do what they're fucking told, what you're going to find is the whole culture is going to become fucking toxic. And they do it on purpose, man. Like New York just announced that they're going to lower their fitness standards for new hires. Okay. And bro,
It's already pretty bad, isn't it?
It's embarrassing. And one of the only things left is climbing over a 6-foot fence. And
Now they don't have to?
No, that's still one of the events. But I think, and I might fuck this up, so he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, go look it up. Fuck you. But the amount of time they have to crawl over a fence, if it's more than 10 seconds,
yeah,
it's pathetic, dude. And like, but my whole point is saying, like, they keep chipping away at the standards that make good cops good, and then that allow shitty people to become part of the profession. And once you have enough shitty cops,
yeah,
you don't have the structure to be able to resist, because you hire people that are physically and mentally weak. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to do whatever the fuck they're told.
Well, I hope they do hire more physically and mentally weak people in the short term, because if I think, or if what I think is coming, then we may find ourselves oppositional.
100%. And then the other side of it is like the cops that are just motherfuckers, dudes that are hard, dudes that stand by their morals and their convictions. Those will be the cops that say, fuck you guys, I'm not doing this.
I hope so.
Now, which is exactly why the IRS or whatever is buying up all that ammo. You see how much ammo they've been buying?
And bro, they fucking not only are they, I didn't see that, but in addition to that, the administration just made it illegal, or I don't know if they actually made it illegal or if they just prohibited it through like contract deals or whatever. But any ammo manufacturer that has contracts with DOD, DOJ, with the government, we will not do business with them if they also sell ammo on the civilian market.
Oh, wow.
Think about that, dude.
They know.
JFK assassinated.
Yeah, isn't that fucking nuts, dude?
No.
Because they realize that we're going to fight back. Most of these police officers, a lot of these military are going to fight back, and they're starting to realize, just look at Holland.
Yeah.
They see what's going on,
yeah.
and they go, oh, fuck. The Americans are going to do that, but way worse. We need to get ammo. We need to somehow arm the feds.
Yeah, bro. And like, it's oh, go ahead.
Did you guys follow Seattle Looks Like Shit on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, I was just looking at it before I showed up. 50 people wounded or something in Central District
Today?
What happened?
Gunshots.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think
Like today?
It said like 17 hours ago, so it must have been last night.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I've been off grid dealing with my fucking boat all morning.
Yeah. So we got to look into that. But anyways, back to the Second Amendment thing. They're going to continue to put out these MK Ultra fucking people and just do mass shooting after mass shooting after mass shooting until the general population, the livestock, so they say, the sheep.
Get rid of the guns.
Exactly. They're going to come in with the solution and they'll be like, fuck it. You know what? Anything, but no more getting shot.
But bro, here's the fuck. This is why that is a backwards way of thinking. It's like,
if there was a mass shooting in Seattle today or yesterday, I would almost guarantee Inslee will announce an imminent now ban. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, dude, police officers,
right?
Are
which
fucking,
makes me say, what's step two?
But they're reactive. They're not proactive. So guess what? A police officer is not going to stop in the moment an active shooter. Now, not only are they not capable of doing it in the moment, but now they even show up and still don't do it and just fucking sit there like fucking pussies.
So again, that brings me back to step two is like, you're going to send the same, like, imagine you and I and Tyler are in here and they say, hey, go disarm those guys.
Oh, I know, dude.
Like,
but my whole point in saying proactive versus reactive is fucking A, when shit's going down, it's on you because no one's coming to save you. Shirts available at Electric Jiu-Jitsu. No, but I mean, that's the truth. No, like the worse society gets, the bigger argument we have for remaining armed.
Yeah.
But people have such a backwards way of thinking that, you know what? I agree that nobody should have guns except the fucking government.
I know.
And bro, these fucking idiots, like Gavin Newsom will never shut the fuck up referencing rifles as weapons of war. And it's like, bro, every member of your security detail has one of these.
Yeah.
So is Los Angeles a war zone? Is that what you're saying by that?
Yeah.
You're not in a fucking war zone. You're driving around fucking downtown LA, and people can say whatever they want. And well, it kind of is a war zone. But the truth is, it's not just Los Angeles or Seattle. It's every cop in every jurisdiction, in every city across America can have AR-15s, 30 round mags, all the fucking shit, weapons of war. They can all have those, but we can't have them. So where's the war? You know?
Yeah.
Maybe it's coming.
There's another thing too.
My mind, how many people who went from like melting down because Donald Trump was the president to give the government all the power. Like, doesn't that contradict? Like, you went from thinking the president of the U.S. was the most evil man on earth to I want the government to have all control of everything.
Well, bro, that's the whole fucking hippie movement and fucking Rage Against the Machine. Like, the liberal ideology used to be like, fuck, we want to do what we want and fuck the government and fuck war. And it's like, it's all done a 180. Now you got all the liberals saying, send weapons to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Technical difficulty.
What's going on over there?
It's just my headphones.
You're not getting...
Your mic is working real well.
Yeah, but it's this cord.
Oh.
Because if I mess with it...
What I'm saying is, can you hear us, though, just here in the room?
Yeah, I can. I just want to make sure it's fine.
Yeah, you good now? No?
No.
All right, well, we'll just record like this.
Yeah, it's all good.
We're picking you up. Just be close to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, but bro, like, they have done a good job at convincing people that fucking allowing the government to do everything for them is the right answer.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And the way they've done that is like by pandering to all these little fucking special interest groups. And if you're black, we got your back. And if you're gay, we got your back.
Yeah.
And we like diversity and we like all these different, we support this and we support that. And now everybody's like, oh, look, the government, like, I get the month of June. Yay.
Yeah. Dude, I told you guys this at the gym. Like, I went to do an electrical call at one of these like low income housing places down in Seattle where it's kind of like low end apartments. And if you make under a certain amount, you can rent there. And so I was up on the roof and I'm looking around and it's an entire city block of just kind of shitty apartment buildings, like cheaply built and poorly maintained and whatnot. And I'm looking at some of there's a pregnant lady smoking on the sidewalk and like yelling at somebody about 12, you know what I mean? And like, I'm just the people watching, like it was like a zoo, right? So I'm looking at all these people who aren't trying to get in, like, this is it. They've scored their low income apartment and now they're going to hang on to this spot and just keep sort of like eking through life
and sucking from the system.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, they're livestock. And this social welfare is a fucking industry because the building they're in is sitting on probably $100 million worth of dirt in downtown Seattle. And this company's making money and getting subsidized by the government to provide this low income housing and not rent it out at like the going rate.
It's a human farm.
Yeah,
Seriously,
exactly. And I was
just like the cows down the street
holy
from my house,
shit.
only humans are in it.
I'm watching fucking livestock walking up and down these stairs
100%.
right now.
Like we said, or like I said, human resource.
Yeah.
You are a human resource.
Totally.
Unless you use your fucking consciousness and your free will and you go do what you're supposed to do. You know, humans are rad and special and we have a lot of power. But when we're told that we're stupid and we're this big and you'll never be anything,
and only 10% of your brain works,
all this different shit, then you're destined to grow up with limited beliefs.
Bro, I talk about it on the show often. A lot of us have a misconception of what our society is comprised of because of the circles that we keep. Most people in our circles have an emphasis on their physical body. Most people in our circle have they take the time to nurture good relationships with the right people. And, you know, you look at how they live their life, like emotionally, spiritually, and physically, they're on a trajectory that seems to be a positive one. And the degree and how, you know, some of our friends are doing better than others, but I would say most of the people in our circle, or all the people in our circle, are trying to be better than they were yesterday. Like, for instance, if you go to jiu-jitsu practice, right there, that separates you from so many people because you've said, hey, I want to be a better version of myself tomorrow than I am right now. And that goes for any Globo Gym, yoga, anything, right? So we get this misconception that that's what the human race is. And then you go to Walmart and you're like, oh, wait a minute.
I'm a superhero.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I go in Walmart. Holy shit.
Yeah, bro.
I come here more often. I'm like Iron Man, Captain America, and this motherfucker.
Bro, we're in our 30s. Tyler, you're what, 34?
Yeah, that's good.
34. Me and Foulke are in our 40s.
Yeah.
And guess what? You can have abs in your 40s.
Hell yeah.
And that's not fucking like, oh, you're vain and you're a meathead and all that stupid shit. It's like, actually, no. It's just a byproduct
It's reasonable.
of living a healthy, active, good life.
Yeah.
And shout out RJ, who's one of our jiu-jitsu teammates. He said to me the other day, he's like, bro, like Toby's twice as old as me, and how come I can't look like that?
Because you're lazy. You're lazy, RJ. That's why.
Eat healthy foods and fucking stop skipping practice, and you'll look like Foulke.
Yep.
But no, that's a real thing, and it's, you know, there's a whole nother podcast on how there's an industry that's just trying to capture like the healthy image, and I want to look like that. But at the end of the day, if you just make good choices and you fucking stay somewhat disciplined and you have enough motivation to, I tell people all the time, I don't like going to the gym and I don't like working out. I want to lay in bed, eat pizza, and watch Netflix, just like everybody else.
Yep.
But once you realize, hey, this is the system to success, then you go out there and you do it. And guess what? Every single fucking time you go to the gym or you go to practice, you leave feeling better about yourself than when you got there.
100%.
Short of blowing your shoulder out or whatever happened to you a couple weeks ago. Injury nights suck. But no, like, dude, there's a lot of people that have never went to the gym.
No.
They've never went for a run. They've never eaten meats and fruits and vegetables. Like,
And they're metabolically sick.
they're metabolically sick
But
as
they
fuck,
might be,
dude.
they might be, you always talk about the stool, right? The 3-legged stool.
Yeah.
They might be super fucking good where like, you don't want to be the meathead at the gym either. Who's like, oh, coconut. You know?
Yeah.
You don't want to be that guy because sure, all he does is he's the slave. People just use him to fucking lift shit up and bring it somewhere else.
He lifts shit up and sets it down.
That's why it's like, you really got to have all three. Otherwise, you're going to be Jabba the Hutt, but fucking a wizard, but you can't use any of your abilities because you can't get up. Or you're the fucking super athletic guy who's strong as fuck, but he can't figure out how to tie his shoes for the game, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have the nerd who's or the spiritual person or whatever it is. It's like you have to spend some time keeping yourself in shape. And then you need to do mental jujitsu. That's learning new skills, adversity, challenges, conquering missions, goals, all those things. And then what I'm finding out is spiritual. And spiritual is probably the gnarliest.
Yeah.
But if you get your spirit, I think your spirit is up here and then your mind and your body is down here. Because if you get your mind and your body in a good spot, but your spirit's fucked up, you're still fucked up. You still have more healing to do. But if you can get your spirit,
Stay on that mic.
if you can get that spirit up high, doing good, then the rest kind of travels downhill. If you see a strong or healed spirit, they're taking care of the other aspects of their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now I'm like learning this new thing where it's like, man, I really got to do all three. Because I don't like to do shit too. I mean,
I think it's just an inherent part of being a human being. I actually think
We all have some level of addiction, like addictive personality. You know what I mean? So it's easy to like food, TV, whatever. And
Yeah.
just get into this.
But bro, I think it probably goes back. I mean, it's probably encoded in our DNA because up until 100 years ago, you didn't have the option of not fucking cutting wood, of not going on the hunt, of not fighting this rival fucking horde that's coming over the fucking mountain. Like, you were put in situations where you had to address these things or you fucking died. But one of those things is going through fucking famine and going through extreme cold. Like, our bodies have built these mechanisms inside that make us resistant to that, or that make us want to eat. Like, oh, dude, look at this. We just killed this animal. We have a bunch of excess fat. Fuck yes. Let's eat it all.
Yeah.
Let's try and get as many.
Because it might take 5 days to kill another one.
Exactly, right? And so our bodies and our minds have been grown in a way that is really still a survival-based mentality, but we're not surviving anymore. We're thriving.
Yeah.
And that is what's fucking killing us, dude.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? The UN, either they had it up on their website for a long period of time and it just got taken down, or they put it up there for a short period of time and it got taken down, but it's down. But this is like yesterday. The UN literally wrote in their papers that world hunger is a great thing because that's how you get people to work harder and create a better economy and fix climate change and push the Green New Deal, is that if people are starving, they will be way more apt.
You're more active. I've experimented with this at work because I would eat like a heavy lunch and then get tired. So I started I did like a 48-hour fast just to see if like my energy levels would fall off. But actually I wanted to eat badly, but my energy levels were great.
Well, yeah, and when you're going to starve to death, of course you're going to be a better worker for a fucking paycheck. It's like,
think about that though, bro. Because it's like,
that's the United Nations saying that.
If you have fucking government entities that are pushing on, because listen, is there some truth to that? Well, Foulke just said, I noticed that sometimes my energy goes up when I fast. I don't need the fucking government to have imposed starvation to make me more productive, motherfuckers.
You don't like that?
And guess what else? None of those motherfuckers at the top are going to be fucking starving.
No.
Have you read that article? It was like a fictional article written by an intern at the WEF in like 2017 where she's talking about how she's so glad that everything's so safe now and that she doesn't mind being confined to the city, and that sometimes she worries about the wild people who live beyond the city limits.
Yeah, like John the Savage.
Yeah, dude, it's not, and it was fictional, and they wrote it as like a propaganda piece, but you can read it. That was when I was first starting to pay attention to shit 2 years ago. I stumbled on that and read it, and I was like, are you fucking serious?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, all of these motherfuckers have no idea what is in store for them if they push our civil society. We bitch about the problems within our society all the time on the show, and there's a lot of them, and we're going to go over some of them today. But at the absolute foundational level of America, we can still walk down most streets and feel safe. We can still feed our children. We can still have a warm house to live in. As of now, as dysfunctional as shit is, it's still functioning at a level that keeps people from going savage.
Yep.
Yeah.
When food stops, when electricity stops,
Yep.
when water in certain areas, like when I used to live in Temecula, California, if water stops, it's to the death.
Yeah.
And these fucking people don't realize, like, Foulke seen, and fucking, dude, you grew up as hard as anybody I know. Savage-minded people, like, we'll be wearing your fucking faces for Halloween.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, even
and I know some fucking, and I'm not gonna put them on blast on the show, but there's some friends of mine that are fucking homies, but they're also fucking like world famous people that are like, we will be eating the opposition and food shortages.
Yeah.
Like that meme I posted. Do you see the meme I posted today?
Yeah, but they're full of spike proteins.
Yeah, we don't want
so
to eat the ones that are full of spike proteins. And that's funny and we laugh at it, but in all seriousness, if you were my opposition in an apocalyptic world, I will fucking kill you and I will fucking feed my family with you. And I won't think fucking twice about it, dude.
No, as long as you don't have nanobots. Fucking
right.
in the belly.
we need a nanobot
search.
I need a metal detector nanobot searcher that I can scan your fucking body with. If you do, we'll feed you the fucking vultures.
Like, bro, I will have no problem having my compound lined with the heads of our fucking enemies. Like, to go fucking savage is actually exciting to some people.
They want it.
You don't fucking have any idea that there's men out there that are capable of things that these people have only seen in fucking movies, dude. If you look at the rise of ISIS, man, like Look what those motherfuckers did. They were going unchecked. They had tons of fucking funding. They had weapons, capabilities, trucks. And what did they do? They went fucking savage, burning people alive, publicly beheading people, fucking using their prisoners for CQB practice for the children. You see those videos, dude?
Yeah.
They have they're teaching children how to clear rooms with AK-47s. And if you come in a room and come across someone, you shoot them in the face. And they had people tied to chairs to get a live kill rep during practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you motherfuckers don't realize that that is where a lot of men go when they are
an unruly
pushed
world.
and they can do whatever the fuck they want. And guess what? I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Because you want
in
to
a power vacuum, warlords will arise. And it's like if the goal of this extreme authoritarian leftist movement is to push everything into chaos, then what's going to be left? And I don't understand, like, because then warlords would rise and you'd have pockets of organization. But what would their plan be after that?
Yeah, because here's the thing. Fucking, like, Bill Gates ain't going to be in control of shit. You know what I mean?
No, well, that's the thing. Is
they
like,
think that everybody's just going to comply. But I'm telling you,
the
A
problem.
lot of damn people did.
a lot of damn people did, bro. And a lot
The
of
real thing is that I'm still at the point where they won't have to fire a bullet at this point. Does anyone understand?
Netflix and chips, dude. As long
Until
as
there's
that's
no
on.
food.
Yeah.
And when there's no food, none of us know what it's like to not be able to go to the grocery store.
yeah.
None of us. And we joke about it, but the real thing is in 2 days when all of our kids haven't fucking eaten, and Lando, Nathan, Logan, Reagan, Cy, Talon, Vinny, Tinsley are like, Dad, we're really hungry, and you can see it in their fucking face. They're starting to starve and they're starting to be malnourished, and we don't know how to get food. You can't hunt. If everyone hunts, we'll fucking hunt this place out of animals in a week.
Yeah. All the rabbits and Crosswater Association will be gone in 10 minutes.
It. No more bees next summer, and that's it. That's a wrap for all. We have to relearn because it's not new. It's forgotten knowledge, and we have to. This goes back to we have to go to the gym, right? Otherwise, we're going to be gluttonous. We have to fucking learn about the New World Order. Otherwise, we're going to get fucking killed. We have to relearn some of the forgotten knowledge from our ancestors. That's what keeps us from not being free. Is all
being dependent on them.
That's it. And so I've really been thinking, like, okay, what is it? What is it that I would literally die? Well, I have to go to work for money, right? That's the whole point, is money. But is it money? Does money keep me alive? No, it's what I can get with the money, right?
Yeah.
So let's take away money out of it. Let's say I was to work for, what do I need? We need a roof over our head. So I need to work for a roof over my head. I need to work for some clean water. I need to work for some food. And I need to work for some security.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the four. What's that?
Maslow's hierarchy.
Yep.
So the two base levels are physiological, food, water, shelter, and then safety, security is the second base, and that's the foundation.
And then the right above that is like your relationship, love, sex, all that shit. Right?
Can I?
Yeah,
keep going? So I started my little side company, and I've been doing it just training guns. But one of the ways the real direction I want to take it is back to that. Sort of the notion that in order to be truly free, you have to be able to provide the base of Maslow's triangle or pyramid for yourself.
Okay. Yes. And that's kind of where I'm getting at, is like, I really, really don't want to starve to death.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I'm serious. Like, after that chick who escaped North Korea on Joe Rogan or Jordan Peterson, Naomi Parks, I think.
Yeah.
I listened to her podcast and I realized I think starving to death is the worst possible way you can go.
Yeah.
Because she was willing to be raped and know it.
Yeah. Dude, and
To get to out
not
of that.
be hungry.
the part where they steal each other's poop.
That's it.
That's fucking
And
crazy.
so I'm like, okay.
What do you mean? I don't remember the stealing of poop.
They have to
For
turn
fertilizer.
their poop back in to get more food.
They don't have
So
garbage bags.
If you steal, and they have outhouses like we had in Berry Cow.
Yeah.
So families will try to steal other families' poop because if you turn more poop in, you get more food back.
Grasshopper or whatever.
Fuck, bro.
And so I'm
And
listening.
that's human beings right now
Yeah.
are living under those conditions.
Yes. And so I am like, okay, the consequences of me not willing to stand up, draw a line in the sand, and fight to the death right now, where I do have a roof over my head. I can go to the fucking store. I have YouTube. I have Amazon, all these fucking things that I can, if I'm willing to, I can teach myself. We still have enough time. It's getting more fucked every day, but I have more time to teach myself how to fucking can food with a pressure canner. Teach myself how to fucking, I literally bought thousands of different seeds. I don't know what grows around here. My thought was I can take 4, a carrot, a radish, a corn, and an apple, and hopefully those grow and then live off of that. Or I can go onto Etsy and learn how to get 100 seeds for $2.99, spend $500 and plant every motherfucking thing I can. Something's got to stick.
See what works.
Dude, it's all, I've lost like 4 plants. I have
Everything.
everything, bro.
Oh, that's
Everything. I have.
Is that Hugo culture? thing
Oh
going
my
crazy?
God, dude. It's going fucking insane.
I want to build one out.
I learned how to grow mushrooms, all different types of mushrooms. I can do it in the house. I can do it on the logs. I learned how to forge without fucking electricity and make our own weapons and our tools.
Your chickens and cows,
my
or chickens and
chickens.
goats are doing good.
We're learning how to fertilize them. Like now we have 40 chickens that we've actually raised and hatched on our own. And so I'm like, okay, if we fucking die now, what else was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. That's fate.
Well, and bro, you all, I mean, something you said earlier is that if everybody's going hungry, that there won't be any fish or fucking animals left, right?
Yeah.
But here's the other side of it. What percentage of society even has a bow, even has a gun, even has a fishing pole, even has a tackle box? Like,
No.
I'm not saying that the
you're right.
resources won't be limited,
The hunting-
but I also think that the amount of people that have the capability and understanding to even provide for themselves on a very foundational level, I bet it would be surprising about how many people have no fucking idea.
Dude, I bet
the
most
die
people
off,
die.
like, yeah. So I don't think this is what's coming, but say you had like a total collapse where like the electrical grid went down and it's staying down. The die off you'd have in the first 6 weeks because you'd have no more sanitation, no more refrigeration. You'd probably lose 80% of the population just right there from
Well,
pestilence
and also inner city
starvation.
violence.
Yeah, yeah.
Like once the grid's down, guess what else is down? 911.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it goes back to what we said about some, I think men can be savage for good or they can be savage for evil.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like one of my teammates, when me and Foulke were in the regiment, he said, you know why 2nd Ranger Battalion exists? You remember this quote?
No.
He goes, because we're facing an evil opposition, an evil enemy, and they needed to put together a regiment of men who are more evil. And it's like,
Oh, we're initials TK.
no, they were DM. Whose is this?
Oh.
Yeah. And it's like,
enough.
Dude, there's good men that will go just as fucking savage, you know?
More savage.
More
Let's
savage.
just say it's people who joined the army because they were hoping to go to combat and they were like couldn't figure out how to do it without going to jail.
Yeah.
But most want to fight bad guys, right?
But yeah, my point of saying that though is like,
You want to be justified.
our inner cities, the evil savages will be running rampant.
Oh, yes.
And then
They almost are already
and
down in
then
Seattle.
and then the thing that I battle back and forth in my brain is like, do we go on a hunting trip down there? or do you fucking buckle down the hatches and worry about your perimeter?
Exactly.
I say
You know what I'm
10 to your
saying?
garden.
Yeah.
10 to your side of the garden. It's a big fucking garden.
Option A would be fun as fuck.
Sure. It depends on what's coming. Like if we're
You
we're not
become
gonna
like a
live much
predator,
longer.
like a lion tackles the sick gazelle because they're not looking for a fair fight. They're looking for the easiest meal. So
Yeah.
going looking for a fight, a little a leg wound could become fatal if you don't have sanitation in a hospital.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to be smart when you're living. You know how many times you watch Alone, where it's like they're in a scenario or some type of situation where they're like, "Fuck, I just can't do it.
Bro, literally last week's episode. So, because we're on a new season of Alone.
Okay.
And if you're not watching Alone, check it out. It's a History Channel. It's like a reality TV show, but I hate attaching that title to it, where they drop 10 people off in the woods and they're solo. They're their own cameraman. They're responsible for everything. And they have a GPS telephone that they can call back to base and quit. And last person standing wins. Is it 100K or 500K? I think it's 500K.
I think so.
But regardless, like, this is a real tough survival scenario. And some people have made it to 3.5 months out there with, I mean, they get to bring a couple items like a saw and they get a fire starter, shit like that. But this dude in this season was thriving. He was if I had to pick who was going to win, him. The best shelter, he could hunt, he could fish, and he killed this beaver that was like 40 pounds. Massive fucking beaver. Meanwhile, a lot of people are starving out there.
Yep.
Because they just can't figure out how to make the woods provide. And he killed this beaver, and he undercooked it a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, bro, the littlest fucking mistake fucked me, because he got like some type of parasitic infection, and it took him out of the challenge.
Okay.
He pissed out of his asshole for like 4 days straight and got so dehydrated that he had to call for a medical evacuation because he could barely even walk.
He's going to die.
If
he doesn't get help.
And it's like, think about that. A parasitic infection because you didn't cook the beaver meat to whatever the temperature is. That's real shit.
That's real shit.
That's
why, like,
always cook the beaver meat.
Right. Tough beaver's better than undercooked beaver.
Yeah. But it's cool watching them, like, I mean, fucking one season, a guy killed like a moose. There's one season where a guy killed a musk ox with a knife.
Rolland.
Yeah, you remember his name.
Fucking Castle Rock.
Bro, he fucking charged, I mean, I don't know what a musk ox is, 1,500 pounds or something.
Oh, bigger.
Bro, and he lunged it with a fucking knife right next to its fucking
Shanked
ribs.
it, dude. Jumped off the cliff.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And so he had shot it originally with the bow and arrow.
Okay.
But it didn't knock it down.
It didn't get a kill shot, just wounded him.
So then it was over this thing. He'd run down and fucking shank it, run back up.
Oh, he had to hit it a couple times.
Oh, dude, it took him a little bit.
Wow.
And he won that season because he had a 1,000-pound animal or whatever it was.
The thing is what happened.
That's crazy. Think about that. How killing one animal can,
But he still had to get other.
To your family.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because it wasn't about the meat. It was so lean. He didn't have any fat. Remember, he was like
boiling the skull.
Yeah,
to get the fat out of the inside of the skull.
Oh damn.
And man, there's a lot of little techniques that I think you phrased it best. You said they're like the forgotten arts or whatever.
Forgotten knowledge. Because these people will like kill a deer or a moose or whatever, and then they'll pull the brain out of the skull and they'll use the brain to tan the hide. And it's like, not only would I have never thought of that, I didn't even know that's something that's necessary. Right.
And so something that we've been doing is like, in my current life and where I'm at right now, you only have so much time to do those kind of things, right? Because we are still, like you said, money is still a driving force. So I have to grow my business. I have to build my new gym. But we're buying books, hard copies, and then tools along with these books. And bro, they're just going in the apocalypse trailer. Like I bought 4 books that actually just arrived over the weekend of how to build a log cabin with your hands.
There you go.
And I bought those, you saw the tools that I bought, those forged tools, right?
Send us shit all the time. It's
and
like good, bad.
Yeah. And now I have like those tools to scrape all the bark off of the trees. And then tools to cut the notches so the logs can sit together. And it's like, I don't know how to build a fucking log cabin. I couldn't tell you anything. But I have a resource now that if like we're out in the woods and it's like, fuck, bro. All right, let's sit down and look. Let's look through these pictures and see what makes sense. And I did the same thing. We bought, I don't remember how many, but hundreds of thousands of heirloom seeds. And you could probably unpack this better than me, but most seeds don't produce fruit that is viable to reproduce on its own.
It's GMO. Yeah, it's Monsanto.
No, you got to get heirloom seeds.
And if they're not heirloom, they will die one generation and then they're gone forever.
Yeah, not all.
Okay.
Not all, but generally, I always, if I'm going to buy seeds, I'm looking for heirloom seeds. Because, see, I call them the bad guys now. Because the kids ask all the time. I'm like, the bad guys. So they asked something the other day, and I go, well, what the bad guys try and tell us all the time is that we're running out of resources due to climate change. We're running out of fucking water. We're running out of air. We're running out of fucking food. We're running out of everything.
That's
right?
why they're going to shut down all the farms in Norway.
Yeah.
Because of climate change.
Because of climate change.
But real quick, before you go off on that, for people that are in their 40s, like me and Foulke, when we were kids and this was just starting, it was called global warming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
And the push.
We had like 3 years where we were real concerned about acid rain. Acid rain was a big fucking deal from like 89 to 92.
And then the earth is getting warmer. So now it's global warming. And then we had some like record freezes and some ice caps that were actually generating more ice and shit. And it's like, okay, fuck. If people are seeing this, it's just climate change.
Climate change, which has been happening since the beginning of time.
Beginning of fucking time, bro.
So I agree with you. I agree. Climate change is real, but no, cows don't fart too much, and we don't need to get rid of the carbon footprint. Okay.
All right, continue.
So anyway, I was talking about the bad guys, how they tell us that we're running out of resources.
Right.
And so I told the kids, I said, I'm going to ask you guys a question. You guys are young. If we plant the heirloom seeds, because I make the kids do all this shit with me, and then we don't say we're going to plant 4 radishes, and then we let the 4 radishes grow, and we pick 3 of them, and then we don't pick the last one. Then the radish will then bolt, and it will go to flower, and after the flower, the petals fall off, there's a seed. And that one radish gave me more seeds than I can fucking pick up off of one seed. Now, if I do that again and I don't pick any radish, I'll have hundreds of thousands of seeds off of one.
Mm-hmm.
If I have chickens, they lay an egg every single fucking day. And if I put it in the incubator, I will then have a new chicken every 28 days, which lays an egg every day. And in just 1 year, I'll have over 1 million chickens.
Yeah. Okay? That's fucking nuts, dude.
If I do this with my trees, if I do this with my plants, water is the same amount of water that's ever been. There's no new water. There's no old water.
Second wettest recorded spring.
So why are we paying Nestle for water? How is there a water shortage? Okay, so all of these.
Well, bro, and also we live in Washington State.
Yeah,
if you live in Nevada, you better figure out a fucking water supply, because if the only one you have available is the government fucking pipelines,
yeah,
okay,
that's it. Then you're at their mercy.
But I think I told you, like, on my property, I've been drinking the river water straight.
Yeah,
because Gordon does it, and I was like, man, everybody thinks that that's weird, right?
Good for you.
And I'm gonna try it. And I filled up like
out of the stilly, or
I filled up a fucking Nalgene bottle and chugged the whole thing and felt completely fine. And I was like, not only did I feel fine, it was the most delicious fucking water that I've ever had. And I was like, dude, Arrowhead and fucking Aquafina and all these motherfuckers, like
tap water.
Yeah. I should start selling fucking Stillaguamish fucking water because it's a glacier fed river.
Yeah, and you're up high enough.
If you fucking if you get in that river, which we all have, it's noticeably colder than most local rivers.
Oh, yes.
Right? And because all of the fucking mountain glacial runoff is coming through that.
Is it coming right out of Glacier Peak?
Yeah, I think it's right out of Glacier Peak. And bro, it's fucking delicious.
It is.
You know? And isn't that weird? Like, and I don't know what's a conspiracy and what's not, but it's like drinking water that doesn't have chemicals and fluoride in it is dangerous.
Sure, down in Louisiana where it's a swamp and the thing's brown.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Our water is what's on the picture of the water bottle.
I can look, up here we can see the fucking rocks at the bottom. It's crystal clear.
Yeah.
Sure, if I can't see the bottom in the river, I'm not drinking the water.
Yeah. And like after big fucking rains, when you get a lot of washout and shit, like, okay, that's probably but then the other side of it is like, get a Berkey or whatever.
Yeah.
Then we're fucking fine.
I'm going to buy a second one to leave out there.
I want to buy more too. Berkey water filter. Yeah. So anyways, my point being is that don't let these motherfuckers convince you that we're running out of resources. There's literally an abundance. It's an overabundance that they have control over the whole thing to make it seem as if we're running out of resources.
Yeah.
But really, if I wasn't governed on what I can have, I would have so fucking much food and shit that I could feed my entire neighborhood for a small fee. Hey, come over once a week and help me shovel out fucking chicken shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And we can literally have a food forest, all the meat, all the fucking cheese, the milk, the butter. No one even has to go to the store.
Doesn't that sound a lot better than going to work every day?
Bro,
Hell
fuck yeah. It's going to be more rewarding. It's
gonna.
going to feel better. You're going to bond with people closer.
100%.
You know, all that shit's a real thing. And bro, like my buddy Kirk Ledoux, who has that bush plane that took me for a flight out of Arlington, bro, when we're 1,000 feet AGL, we'd just taken off. The only thing you can see as far as your eye can see is lush fucking forest. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But we have a lumber shortage, right?
But it's like, I think a lot of people like are out of touch with how much untapped fucking land there still is in America because everybody's dependent on the cities. So everybody's in the cities.
Yep.
But bro, we flew for hours and it's just like absolute untouched fucking pristine forest, you know? And so fuck, man, I think that if it gets to that point, and this is why I tell my kids, I've talked about it on the podcast plenty of times, it's going to be emotionally hard. It's going to be physically hard. But the flip side of that, it's peaks and valleys, right? With those highs or with those lows are going to come the highest highs. And we're going to be fucking happier human beings that are operating how we're supposed to be operating. Bro, that's why everybody's depressed and on medication and obese and shooting up fucking schools and thinking they're a fucking cat and becoming a woman when they have a dick. It's because our brains are fucking scrambled, dude.
Scrambled.
You take these people and you put them in the forest and you say, live on your own or die. A lot of them will probably die.
Yeah.
But the ones that live are going to be grounded in reality.
Yeah.
Bro, this is a great segue because I wanted to talk to you guys about the documentary called What is a Woman?
Oh, I tried to watch it last night.
know.
You can't. It won't play on Amazon. I'm sure it's censored.
So a guy created a documentary and it's basically he's trying to figure out. It's called What is a Woman? And that is like one of his foundational questions, right?
Okay.
Every single person listening should go watch that documentary because it's fascinating.
Okay.
But it's talking about the big transgender movement. Like, what is this, right? He talks to so many college professors, doctors, psychiatrists, all of these mental health professionals. And he's like, I'm just trying to understand. Well, first of all, if we're going to start talking about people that are switching sexes and they're not a woman, but they want to be a woman, like what is a woman? In the absolute foundation of all of these issues, let's try and define what the sexes are, and we'll start with a woman. Bro, all these people with fucking PhDs and fucking all these plaques on their walls and shit, every single one of them was like, well, here's the thing.
No, shut up.
Oh, yeah. It's like, it's a very subjective question because, and then they go on this, like, they're like a dog chasing their tail, right? And then they're like, well, you know, if you feel you're a woman, then that is a woman. And he goes, okay, you just use the word that I'm looking for a definition for. So if you're saying you feel like a woman, what does that encompass? What is feeling like a woman? If you won't tell me what a woman is, what is feeling like a woman? Well, and bro, every person in the universities, all the fucking college students, all of them, every single, not one of them could fucking just be like, yeah, it's an adult female that has a vagina. You know what I mean? Like, it's
pretty fucking simple.
Everybody understands what a woman is. And bro, our higher learning, our medical fields, not one of them were willing to say, it's a fucking adult human with a vagina. No one would say that. So then the guy goes, well, clearly the American culture can't define what a woman is. So I'm going to go to the other side of the world and see what they think a woman might be. And he flies to fucking Nairobi, Kenya, and goes out amongst tribal people. And he's like, what is, in your definition, a woman? And the guy like gets a smile on his face, and he goes, a person with vagina and breasts, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that I had to fly to the other side of the fucking world for that. Okay.
Right.
And then he goes, okay, what if he, and then he goes like, what does a woman do? What is a woman in your culture? And they're like, oh, the woman do this, the woman do that. What does man do? Oh, man does this, man does that. And then he goes, okay, so now that we've defined what a woman is and what they do, and he points to one of the guys and goes, what if he decides he's ready to be a woman and wants to switch? They all start laughing, right? And they're all like, like big grins and they're like, you could tell they thought it was the stupidest thing they've ever heard in their entire fucking life. And bro, it was like a defining fucking moment for me, because it was like, oh fuck, dude, our entire lives, we look at indigenous cultures and tribal people as like less evolved and less in touch with like humanity. Like, dude, they're in the sticks still, right?
Yeah.
They don't even have fucking heat or air conditioning. They live in huts made out of fucking grass. These motherfuckers are still getting eaten by crocodiles when they're getting water. Like, who would want to live like that, right? It seems fucking like outrageous. Bro, living real has kept them real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember thinking, watching the documentary, I'm like, oh shit, what are the fucking liberal, crazy, radical fucktards going to have to say about this? Because you can't say something negative about a black indigenous person, right?
Yeah, right.
But that black indigenous person is laughing at how stupid your fucking bullshit is. And bro, like... It lets you realize, like, I don't know if we can turn this ship around. We have a whole generation of people that fucking think you can be a fucking woman, you can be this, you can be that. Oh, I'm a cisgender and I'm a this. How many? There's like what? 50 different options now. And now you got people saying we're actually cats. We identify as animals. I'm no longer a human.
I've seen them. I've seen the horse girl on fucking the internet, where she's a horse at nighttime. She gets off of work and she puts her fucking horse costume on. She goes outside, practices her horse jumping and neighing and fucking and she's like a 40-year-old woman. It's like, bro,
and it all. And I talked about it last podcast.
Crazy bitch.
I talked about it last podcast, saying how like,
goddamn,
they've taught us that being accepting is how you are supposed to conduct yourself as a man. Live and let live. I don't agree with that lifestyle, but as long as that person is doing it and it doesn't infringe or affect how I live my life, live and let other people love, which in its foundation sounds like a good way to live, right?
On paper.
But if we just allow everybody to just go down these fucking rabbit holes of really psychosis.
Yeah.
And you have a fucking whole generation of people that no one can be fucking, no one is living inside of reality anymore.
No.
They've created this false reality.
I think it's,
and if we don't accept it, we're the bigots.
Yeah.
And it's
I'll
like,
be a bigot then.
bro, if you have a fucking dick, you're a man. And if you have a fucking pussy, you're a woman. And if you want to be something different than that, then that's fine, right? But don't expect us to treat that as normal, because it's not normal at all.
No, because if the giraffe wants to be a fucking zebra, that's fine, right? The giraffe can go around the savannah like a zebra. The elephants around us probably laugh at him, but so be it. But the giraffe cannot expect the lions, the tigers, the hyenas, and all the other animals to pretend he's a zebra.
right.
Right? That's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
But if you want to be horse lady, right? Then sure, it's my crazy fucking neighbor. But
that's
you
where
push
this-
it to the
yeah.
normalization to where now, if you are a man with a wiener or you're a girl with a fucking vagina and you fall in love with one another and was to make a kid, that's fucking repulsive and wrong.
Yeah. No, bro. And the thing is, it's like the people that do feel that, man, I just feel like I'm a fucking woman in a man's body or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think it's those people that should be standing against this stuff the most.
Yeah.
Because you could just say, hey, I'm a fucking human being. I feel a certain way, but I can also acknowledge that I'm the outlier and this is not normal for society. And you don't have to fucking just everywhere you go is being inundated with things that are a fraction of a percentage of society. And I talked about it last week. Like they're now starting to take those people that are transgender or that are gay, that are still being good human beings and living a good life and have a good moral and ethical code. And now they're starting to attach them to all this bizarre sexualization of children and dancing for kids and teaching our kids how to be dress and drag and books talking about how to make 9-year-old girls have orgasms. And all of this fucking shit is because we've just accepted. And no one said, hey, you know what? Because if you say, hey, you know what? You're pushing too far. He's a fucking thisist and he's a thatist.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a fucking straight white male. I can't criticize anybody. But if these fucking these people want to hold any type of validity in their communities, man, they need to stand against it. It was you that sent me that Gays Against Groomers page.
Yeah.
And the fucking dude that's on that clearly is as gay as you can get.
Yeah.
He even talks, hey guys, I want you to think about this, right?
Yeah.
Because that is who he is. But he's still a very logical person and he's speaking out against all the crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be happening.
Is that why you were asking about history of like the LGBTQ? Because it makes me wonder if they co-opted gay rights into like a social engineering
yes, under the, I think it's the Trilateral Commission.
Think about like the 13 and 14 year olds, right? 13 and 14-year-old kids have low self-esteem as it is. Then you bombard them with this shit. They're going to be so fucked in the head by the time they're 25 that it's like a whole other like.
Well, also vaccines. That's a huge part of it,
bro.
Because the vaccines that
get close to the mic.
The vaccines that are given to the children are literally meant to create tranny retards. Alex Jones has been talking about it fucking for 25 years about making the frogs gay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it makes the frogs gay, but also makes us gay too. Because in Brave, it's all calculated, you know? It's all to get us to the point where we are sterile and we don't reproduce. Remember, love is bad, all these different things. If you tried to push right now fucking drag queen story time with my dad or my grandpa,
you'd be dead.
They would have fucking slit their throat. They would have went to the principal's office.
My dad too.
They know that. They got to push it. Now look at the next generation. They'll get away with more. It's the boiling frog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they talk about it in the documentary, What is a Woman? And so I'm not even going to try and regurgitate it because I watched it, but it was a room full of people. I didn't get all the details. Yeah. But the gist of it was they talk about the specific people that created this movement and started pushing this movement and started like bringing this to the youth. And bro, every single fucking kid, when you're going through puberty and you're trying to get laid and you're getting turned down by girls and this guy beat me up, like all of that shit, there's not a fucking kid that gets out of between 10 and 15 years old and goes through that period and doesn't go through some dark shit.
Everybody hates middle school.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, so now because you are having some trouble or you feel like an outcast or like all your buddies are like done with puberty and you haven't started yet because our biology is different. Anytime you're not exactly like anyone else, now the kids go to is, oh, well, that's because I'm not supposed to be a man. I'm supposed to be a woman.
So I have something.
So now everything's backwards.
Okay. So when you were that age, okay, say you went to the hottest chick in school, say that was your crush or whatever it is. Would like, in my mind, at no time, even if it was acceptable, would I have been like, fuck it, you know what? I'll totally suck Johnny's dick, then have her tell me no.
Yeah, no.
That never crossed through my mind.
But we're also...
Even if it was okay.
Bro, I also think we're the upper echelon. This is gonna sound super arrogant, but like we're probably the top 1% of men when it comes to like testosterone and will and desire and like. And that stuff started when I was young, bro. But it was also because
Is that why everybody thinks we're nuts?
probably. Yeah. But it was also
Extreme.
It was also because I was raised by a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Like my dad was me times 2 on every single topic. And there was, if I went home and told my dad that I was a cat, he would have fucking slapped me.
Oh, yeah.
And been like, go to your room and shut the fuck
What
up.
the fuck are you talking about?
All right? Like you bring that shit around me again, like we're going to have a fucking problem. And the thing is, dude, and when I talk about my dad, I paint him like a lot of times you hear the asshole side of him, right? Because there are stories when he was a fucking hardened prick and that shit seared in my brain.
Yeah.
But that wasn't my dad. My dad was fun, outgoing. He was fucking motivated. He was a hard worker. Everybody liked him, but he called things like he saw it. And if you brought bullshit to him, he didn't care who the fuck you were. Get that shit out of my fucking house, right? And for instance, remember when sexual harassment became like, everyone was focused on sexual harassment. And now I was in the 7th grade.
Now you can fuck a 9-year-old girl and call it good.
Yeah, right? And dude, I was in the 7th grade in Centennial Middle School in Snohomish County. It was like, we're opening up a sexual harassment curriculum that every kid needs to go to, and it's going to teach you what's appropriate to say, what's not appropriate, how your words could hurt someone. And it's like all of these things on their surface sound good, right? Oh, we're taking care of people. We're learning to be nice. But really, it goes back to what I've said about being anti-bullying. Sometimes some fucking kid that says, I want to fuck you, and a young girl has to say, get out of my fucking face.
Yeah.
And when you learn how to be confrontational and stand up for yourself, also when you learn how to hear hurtful words or hurtful phrases coming your way, it makes you develop some grit and some resolve, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you try and take all that away and protect people, bro, it makes people weaker.
It's the bubble boy theory, right?
Absolutely.
And so my dad's like, what did you say? You got a fucking sexual harassment curriculum starting? I'm like, 12-year-old Greg. Yeah, it starts tomorrow. He's like, tomorrow morning, I'm driving you to school. And okay, I'm getting his fucking old Bronco and drive to school. And we walk in. He's like, I need to talk to the principal. And they're like, oh, principal's not available, but well, you can meet with the vice principal. And I don't know if all schools are structured this way, but the vice principal is actually who oversees student issues. The principal oversees teacher issues.
Okay.
Right? At least in Snohomish County. So we're in the vice principal's office and he goes, I'm interested to see why my son is attending sexual harassment training today. And she's like, well, Mr. Anderson, we've been blah, blah, blah. And it was like during that time of the tail hook scandal in the Navy, which you were probably not even fucking born yet.
Yeah.
But it was like some girls got sexually harassed on a boat. And it was like this big story. And because of the tail hook scandal, we thought that it would be good to develop a curriculum where we can teach kids at a young age. And he's like, listen, I've heard enough. I got a couple questions for you. Has Greg sexually harassed any women at this school? Well, no. Do you have any reason to believe that Greg will sexually harass any girls at your school? Has he done anything, any fucking behavior? Like, are you concerned about him specifically? Well, absolutely not. That's not what this is about. He goes, that's what I thought. And that's why he's not attending your fucking training. Yeah, bro. And he goes, so however you have to take him out of it, he's out of it. Because you guys don't need to teach him about all your bullshit. And like, she's just in disbelief.
Appalled.
And bro, he's speaking exactly how I speak.
Yeah.
So I had to go to like the homeroom or whatever it was called, like 0 hour and not attend it because my dad's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure all the teachers are saying, oh, Greg's dad is insane. Guess what he said,
Yep.
But bro, it's protecting your fucking babies. Yeah. Oh, dude, another thing that the documentary talked about, the same guy that pushed the transgender stuff was the same guy that pushed for sexual education in fucking public school curriculum because they wanted to start normalizing adults talking to fucking children about sex.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll bet every dollar I've ever fucking made. Another story I've told on the podcast, that if I was 9 years old and was in a plane crash, and there was another 9-year-old girl on that fucking plane, and everybody fucking died except us. Bro, we're not going to start fucking when we're 9.
No.
Because I don't know how my dick works, and I don't have those feelings yet.
No.
But if we lived together for fucking however many years, and we became 15 years old with not even knowing what sex is, there's a 100% chance you figure it out.
Oh, 100%.
Her body's going to change and your body's going to change. You're going to become fucking adults, and the sexual drive that's in your fucking brain is absolutely uncontrollable.
Yeah, you will all of a sudden be like, why the fuck do I feel this way towards this specific?
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden I feel
How come when I look at her now,
my wiener gets hard?
Part of my body is rock fucking hard.
Right? Talon one morning wakes up. He goes, hey, Dad, is there ever a time where like you wake up in the morning and your wiener's just hard and sticking up? And I go,
every morning.
Yeah. And he goes, that happened to me.
Yeah, dude. Because your boys are the same age as Nathan.
Yeah.
And so he's all these years I've been going like, oh, you better be nice to the girls. You're gonna wish you were nice to them. He doesn't get. Now you can kind of see. He's like, oh, he's starting to pretend he's not looking, but I'll catch him looking. It's funny to watch.
Bro, we don't need the government. Human beings have been fucking each other since the beginning of, I mean, when did we go from single cell organisms from asexual reproduction to sexual reproduction?
I don't know.
Whenever that happened in history, or if you're a fucking creationist and you like, I don't know what's real and what's real. Regardless of what path you think brought us right here, it's involved fucking since day one.
On every single animal, unless it's like a fucking, an atypical or something where they can reproduce. Dude, every fucking animal. I cannot make another chicken unless I have a fucking rooster and a hen.
Bro, now the government has to teach you how to put your fucking dick in a vagina? Like, of course we don't need you to tell us, our children. I feel like sex ed for a while was literally like, hey, this is what can go wrong. This is what chlamydia looks like because you didn't put a fucking condom on.
Yeah.
Or this is what a girl looks like when she lets her boyfriend come inside of her when she's 15.
Yeah.
Now she's 16 with a fucking baby. And these are the problems that come with it. Like,
Teen Mom, so cool on TV, right?
like I can see why teaching the negative sides of not taking care of yourself. Okay. I can kind of get behind that. That ain't what it's about now. You know?
No.
And so it's like, you know what? Instead of trying to walk a fine line of what's reasonable and what's unreasonable, how about you guys just shut the fuck up and teach our children? Just teach them. Teach them math and science and English.
And you're going to have another pussy ass teach. Because the thing is, my uncle called me one time. This is before I pulled the kids out of homeschool. Well, I guess it was just Vinny.
You mean out of public school?
Out of public school.
Yeah.
Because it was more shit like that. And he's like, my uncle's crazy. He goes, what needs to happen is you need to go down there and you need to walk in and you take the fucking principal by the shirt and you look him right in the eyes and you say, listen, motherfucker, you're going to change the fucking curriculum of my son or daughter about this fucking bullshit, or I'm going to personally beat your fucking ass every day. And do it. If he doesn't do it, you beat the fucking shit out of him. And you know what? You're going to go to jail. That's okay, because you're going to call your buddies and they're coming back tomorrow. And this motherfucker is going to get his ass beat at school every day by each one of your buddies, because you only be held in jail for a few, 2 days.
36
until
hours,
the principal either quits and they put a new one in, or he changes it, because they don't listen. I'm not going to go to a fucking council board and try to get my vote of, please don't teach my kids sex ed anymore. Please, 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 in the back. If you listen to me. Oh, sorry, sir, your time's done.
Oh yeah, you're this is the Snohomish County School Board. Please state your name and you have 45 seconds to plead your case.
And I don't condone the violence, right? It's like I don't.
I condone violence. Bro.
I know you condone violence. My thing is that why is it there in the first place? Why is it there?
Bro,
all of this shit, us Americans.
Was tiny steps to get them to where we're at today.
And now it ends with us.
Yeah.
Period. I'm going to do it for my kids, for whoever's listening's kids, whoever is on our side, because now's the time to pick your fucking side, because it's going to happen. And if you're on the opposing side from us, you're going to get the hammer of the gods dropped on you.
Yeah, bro. And that's why, like, I've pulled all my kids out of the public school system. And not only are they not teaching them the actual, like I said, math and reading and fucking science and English, but they also don't focus on anything that could improve their emotional well-being.
No.
Like, let's teach them about fucking, like, breathing to reset your emotional state.
Yeah.
Let's teach them, like, dude, we were talking about before we started recording the book I'm reading called Emotional Intelligence.
Yeah.
And it teaches you for conflict resolution. And it teaches you, like, self-management, being critical of yourself, learning about yourself. And I honestly think that is what society is lacking more than regular intelligence. Actual, like, measurable SAT score shit is, like, people's social interactions and their emotional intelligence. And
I think their actual intelligence is declining due to just like education has just become memorizing bubble tests.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just memorize these 20 answers, ace the test, get a good grade, pat on the back, move on.
Bro, that was college for me. I always joke. I graduated college with a 3.8 and didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything, dude.
The memory card game.
That's right. Just fucking cram and dump. But, like, you know, how do we come up on the topic emotional intelligence before we started recording? It was something about your coworkers.
Oh, yeah, because Tyler and I are both blue collar. And so we work with these guys who are always kind of unhappy, and not everyone at work, but like some guys. And it's like, dude, your life is you come in here, punch the clock, then you go home, hit the sofa, pull up Netflix, and throw
I know
pizza
what it
in
was.
the microwave.
It's the way, like, certain people, everyone handles situations differently. And, like, you could be tough, you could be not tough, all these different things. You could be super smart, super intellectual, but then, you know, someone's dog dies and they're about to commit suicide, or their girlfriend breaks up with them and they're no longer going to work. They're sleeping all fucking day. They're all these different things. And it's, as society, we need to be able to keep our emotional composure
Through adversity.
Because
Like stoicism,
like
almost.
in one of my, I can't talk about it yet, but one of my ceremonies, I had learned about, like, if you don't have your emotional composure set, then when shit starts to hit the fan, like, you might, like, for instance, say I'm a leader and protector of my community, and I'm very good at that. And anytime one of my neighbors or you guys or the girls or whatever ever gets a hold of me as a 911, I'll come get you or come to my house anytime, no questions asked. And my job is to protect and save you. But if it gets fucking hairy and I start losing my shit, am I going to fucking go with the wind too? And now all of us, I said I was going to protect under all circumstances, but because I lost my emotional composure, not only did I fall over, I brought all the ones that I was going to protect with me.
Yeah.
And I became, I did far more harm than if I just would have never protected anyone in the first place.
Well, bro, I mean,
does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Well, it makes me think of all the like the people screaming in the, like, pink-haired people, like mothers and fathers take their kids to these protests and then they're like shrieking in the streets about
falling
God knows
over
what.
and shit.
Can you imagine watching your parents do that when you're
a
8,
fucking
9, 10
baby?
years?
Yeah. Dude, there was a video on Instagram yesterday of that fucking kid in Australia sticking that other kid right in his neck with a fucking knife. Have you seen that?
No.
Bro, they're arguing in a mall.
Okay.
He's like, fuck you. And the guy with the knife's like, leave me alone, and like was trying to walk away. Oh. And this other dude's like, no, let's go. And I say kid, they're probably 20, right? And this dude like lunges at him and he goes, boom, sticks him right in the jugular. And bro, he was dead in 12 seconds.
Holy shit.
It just goes and squirted all over, and he grabs his neck and it's like, oh shit. And he like starts stumbling and falls over. like
Wow.
10 or 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Holy
A
shit.
fucking, I'll show you guys when we're
Okay.
done. But it's like, they didn't have the emotional intelligence to not only let's not get involved with a person that's right in front of us with a weapon.
Yeah.
But more than like the social awareness to be like, this dude is probably dangerous. He has a weapon in his hand and I don't have one.
Yeah.
But just the bickering and back and forth over really shit that's meaningless, right?
Yeah.
And so, and bro, I need that. I'm 41 and I still need it because there's times on the freeway, I'm ready to fight to the death because someone cut me off and it's like, hey, motherfucker, pull over.
Yeah.
All right. That's showing a lack of emotional intelligence, bro.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, what if he did cut me off on purpose? And what if I do pull him out of his car and beat the shit out of him? There's so many things that could go wrong for me versus what I have to gain from doing
That's it.
that. Now, do I think members of our society do need the lesson of getting their ass kicked? Yes, I do.
That, that would grow their emotional intelligence.
Yeah. I do think that.
Yeah.
So like everything else in this life, it's a dichotomy, right?
Yeah.
You can't not engage conflict because of your emotional intelligence, but you also shouldn't seek it to a level that is just dangerous because of a lack of emotional intelligence. And so one thing that this book I'm reading saying, they said your actual intelligence, and this is what we talked about in the kitchen, your actual intelligence, meaning your IQ, not how much knowledge you have, because knowledge is just simply memorization. But actual intelligence is not something that you can increase or decreases over time, short of a brain injury or something like that. Your IQ is set.
Really?
And you can't become more intelligent based on training your brain.
Oh, sorry, Tyler.
I'm pretty fucking, I'm good. For
Okay.
a sheet metal worker. A lot better than the other ones.
However, but this now will speak to fucking something that'll fucking prove exactly why Tyler's the motherfucker that he is your emotional intelligence. Not only is it not something that you can train it and sharpen it to a fucking razor's edge. And this book talks about all this stuff. It talks about like self-reflection, how to interact with people in a crowd and think about how they're perceiving your words and like all the different things that you would need to be like, okay, what would make me a better person in this setting or that setting? And what they found, they said they looked into like, I want to say it was like 500,000 people. They did this big test through a bunch of different career fields and professions and races. You know who's the most successful people in America? People with a high emotional intelligence. They said it has nothing to do with IQ. And you have super high performers with low IQs, but they're very high with EQ, which is emotional intelligence.
That makes total sense.
So
me.
yeah, bro.
It's sales.
They know,
right?
they know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
They know how to feel people's energy. They know, okay, hey, this is how I feel right now. But based on the room that I'm in, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud or whatever it may be, right? Yeah, like you have to know who you are. You have to know what's appropriate, what's inappropriate. And this shit seems like kind of a no-brainer. But bro, I think more and more Americans are losing, like I said, not only your actual intelligence as we fucking are on a downward spiral to idiocracy, but the emotional intelligence, it's just non-existent.
A lot of people, their interpersonal relationships have become over text message or Facebook comments, and they're, you know what I mean? They're losing their human connection.
And kids aren't even fucking anymore.
Yeah, bro. Or dude, another thing is like I talk to my wife about it. Bro, me and Jenny sit in bed every night and we fucking talk about life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
No, Jen gets mad at me if I start giving my opinion.
No, but like joking aside, there's a lot of actual couples that are just sharing space.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There is no emotional connection. Or I'm not even talking intimacy. I'm just saying like,
No, even like a friendship.
yeah, we share space. Let's be homies.
That's it.
You know, you're going to bed every night with a woman that's laying next to you that you despise, or that, bro, Jenny talks about it. Like she goes to girls' night, you know, and like sometimes she tells me there's a percentage of females that take getting out with the girls as an opportunity to bash their husbands. And it's like,
why are you with them then?
That's what Jenny said. She goes, if I were to ever say anything negative about you to different groups of friends that she has, she goes, I always look at it like this. That's actually me talking shit on myself, because I'm choosing to be your wife.
Yeah.
So it's like, this person sucks. This person does that. They blah, blah, blah. Like,
what are you doing?
bitch. And I live with them. Like, what does that say about you?
And he's my man.
But bro, that's another fucking problem in our culture, is that it's like, man, half the fucking people that are in relationships with people are kind of just doing it because that's the thing.
Yeah.
They're not even in healthy relationships.
You're supposed to be married by the time you're 25.
Yeah.
And then have kids by 28.
And bro, and that's with your woman. I get emails all the time from people on Instagram, because one of the messages that we push on this podcast is like, find your tribe, right?
Yeah.
I get tons of messages from people that are like, bro, I have no friends, like none.
Go to jujitsu gym.
That's what I always say. I say, you want to find a tribe?
It's a hard fucking way to make friends.
That's a painful way to make friends.
That's how you make good, solid friends, though.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, if you don't have a circle of fucking people, I mean, imagine navigating this world alone.
Yeah.
Of course, you're not going to have any emotional intelligence, because you don't sit down and conversate and compromise and do the things that you have to do as a tribal need for human beings to cohabitate together.
Yeah.
How does three alpha men hang out without us all fighting each other?
Marijuana. Oh,
and jiu-jitsu.
And jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. But also, but I mean, we say that half jokingly, but the reality of it is because we're alpha men that are on the same mission. Mm-hmm. And three alpha men on the same mission is more powerful than one.
Yep.
Right. And so it's like, don't misconstrue like alpha energy as something that's going to make you an outcast or something. I mean,
it's not always it's rarely confrontational.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
Like I
Alphas
can't
realize that there's an inherent risk anytime we're going to go into conflict.
It's
even
also
if we
fun.
win, right? Even if you win or I win, whatever it may be, the wolf will win. The chances of them coming out 100% unscathed is slim to none. This isn't a fucking video game where you get like a flawless victory.
And it's like a primal, like it feels fun to have tough friends. All right.
Hell yeah.
Do you remember walking into a bar in Seattle with like 15 Rangers and just being like, fuck yeah, clear the bar out. We're going to stand up.
So funny little people like Ranger stories. And I wasn't here this night when this went down. I think you might've been, but, a group of Rangers went to the University District in Seattle, and a couple guys from a fraternity mistook the guys from regiment as a rival fraternity.
Oh God.
No, I was not there.
And it was actually it was when Cody had gotten out and he was going to school, and a group of Rangers went up to see Cody because now he's a college student, but he was in our platoon. And bro, they became confrontational with a group of Rangers and got the fuck beat out of them. And it's like, yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But they thought it was more frat boys, and one of the guys flipped the hat off their head, and it's like, okay, now you got knocked out after that, right? Yeah. But like frat boys will knock a hat, and then they'll knock a hat, and then I'll poke your chest, and then they'll poke my chest, and then I'll scream, and then you'll try and scream louder. Bro, that's not how we were raised.
Fuck no.
It's go time. Let's fucking go, dude. And Cody said afterwards, it came out that like, guys, that wasn't the rival fraternity. That was a group of Army Rangers. And they're like, oh, fuck, dude. But yeah, of course, going into a bar fucking with a squad of pipe hitters is fucking a better feeling. Dude, we're a gang.
Yeah.
You know, we're just a gang that was fucking recognized by the U.S. government.
I was just going to say, can we give a shout out to the FBI and DHS? You know they're listening.
Yeah.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah. But bro, like, dude, all the kids in fucking Compton and South Central that are banging, they just didn't have Second Ranger Battalion to get into to bang. Yep. You know what I mean? Like young men like violent, tough fucking groups of people that stand up for what they believe and fucking live on their ethos and all the shit, dude.
Yeah.
So of course that's fucking happening to young men. But I mean, the whole point that came up is because you're like, alphas can cohabitate and make each other fucking stronger, dude.
And alphas that like are stereotypical, your toxic masculinity alpha, those are not.
Nobody likes that guy.
No. Those guys, they're going to get their ass kicked by all of us.
It's when you're like, hey man, my cousin was wondering if he could come to dudes night, and everybody knows. They're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Or when you get invited to be like a part of a masculinity group, like that's so.
Men's retreat.
Yeah. And I'm not going to talk shit on that because I've never attended it, but I see what you're saying. Like, there's other ways. And, dude, Andy Frisella called me on the 4th of July and we talked for like an hour and a half. And this came up of like alphas and leadership and being a pipe hitter and being a strong person, right? And I told him, I said, I think instead of wanting to be the alpha, because like that term kind of signifies I'm in charge. I have the biggest dick. People do what I say. And he goes, bro, I built some of the biggest fucking companies in existence. And he goes, and guess how I fucking built them? By putting the right people that are fucking smarter than me in the right positions. He goes, I'm good at managing and I'm good at like understanding when things are operating in the correct manner or when they're operating in the incorrect manner. He goes, but the thing is, my job isn't to run everything. My job is to find the motherfucker that can run it.
Yeah.
And there's like, if we were on a plane and it crashed and we were out in the middle of the woods and you needed to navigate us to fucking back to civilization, he goes, dude, I know you've spent a lot of time in the fucking woods. I'm going to follow your lead. And he goes, and motherfucker, you tell me to stand on one foot for 30 seconds and then turn around and do the fucking hokey pokey. He's like, that's it, bro. Because you are the person that's better suited to have mission success. And it's like, one of the most successful men in the country telling me he'll stand on one foot, because what he's saying is, bro, it ain't about him.
No.
It's about mission success.
And the thing is, what a concept, huh?
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why is that?
Yeah, you're right. Why is that like eye-opening?
Bro, a lot of things like that are eye-opening now because
you promote your friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And bro, it goes for all of us. If we're living on our compound and folks like, hey, look, we have this little generator and we're going to wire these houses with one light bulb each. And this is how we run the wire. And this is the breaker, blah, 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 all the shit.
Yeah.
Fucking tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do. And I'll shut the fuck up and I'll do it. And each one of us have different areas where I could paint a scenario where it's like, Tyler, take charge of this.
Yes.
You know? And if you don't have the humility to be, sometimes you're the squad leader, sometimes you need to be the alpha team leader, sometimes you just need to be the private that's in the back licking the fucking window.
Yeah.
Figure out where you're best suited for mission success, and it's fluid, bro.
Yeah, that can change from morning to afternoon.
100%.
I feel like jiu-jitsu helps with that a lot.
It does, bro.
Because you always say like you know where you are and you know where you're not, and because of the humility of in jiu-jitsu, going in and getting your ass kicked, even though you thought you were a badass, and I'll speak for myself, that now going into different things, scenarios, situations, work, relationships, when you feel confident, you feel confident. And when you don't, it's, I'm just going to shut the fuck up and say nothing and just pay attention and learn. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, think about that. Like
the empty cup. Come with the cup. Come with your empty cup.
Mm-hmm. Everybody always talks about like all the strengths that you gather from jiu-jitsu, right? Mm-hmm. But really something you just said there is jiu-jitsu. I mean, I say it fairly often to the kids, is like, doesn't show you who you are. It shows you who you aren't. Mm-hmm. Right. And so it teaches you to be able to accept your deficiencies. And it's not just always about like, oh, I'm getting better and I'm more capable and I can deal with adversity better. It's like kind of shines a spotlight on where you're weak too.
Yeah.
And understanding where you're weak, roger that.
Roger that.
You know?
Yeah. I am not going to smash that guy. That guy fucked me up. You know,
bro,
and whether it's that or life or a skill.
I think a lot of men, and it's probably just a natural progression of growing, because when you're 22 years old, you think that you can beat the shit out of any human being on planet Earth.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
But jiu-jitsu shines a spotlight on that is undeniable. And if you start to learn that about yourself at a younger age, like, dude, I think the kids being in the kids program, I think those kids are going to be monsters.
Oh my god!
And I'm not just talking about how they fight. I'm talking about fucking how they carry themselves, how they treat other people, how they develop a protector mentality. Yeah. Like, bro, I wrote electric jiu-jitsu ethos, and I'll show it to you when we're done. Okay. But I'm gonna have it printed up, and I want these kids to remember all of these things. Yes. And like me and Foulke had what was called the Ranger Creed. And if you want to get into the Ranger Regiment, you have to be able to stand at attention and recite the whole thing. Yeah. And if you can't, that was a big fucking problem. You know,
you haven't taken this small
like
order
during selection. If you fuck up a part of the creed, I think you have to write it.
I think you get dropped.
No.
There's like a test point where
by the end at the end we did have to write it all out. Remember that, or recite it. I don't remember if it was written or recited.
You have to recite,
but you have to say the whole thing. But during selection, if you fuck up a portion of it, it was like, write the Ranger Creed 20 times. And bro, it's a fucking...
it's not short.
You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking like that would be good for the kids. And not that I can force them to do it, but instead of forcing them to do it with like a military authority, like you're going to write it, incentivize them.
Sure.
Yeah. And be like, hey, check this out. Whoever recites the creed flawlessly today gets this new electric jiu-jitsu hoodie.
Yeah.
And like... I want volunteers, and what that's going to do is that's going to build like a competitive and motivated spirit.
Yeah.
To remember the fucking creed. And bro, it's awesome.
Yes. All these things. All these things.
This is what people are missing. This is the lost like emotional intelligence piece. Like it's not developing. Like if you didn't lift weights, your body would get weak. And when you don't interact with people, your emotions and your like communication skills get weak, and even your thoughts. And so like all these people living on the West Coast in these little thought bubbles, their ideas are getting weak because they just talk to people who agree with them all day long. And they, which is funny because here we are recording a talk where we agree with us. But
bro, I've said it before. I will have anyone on the show.
Yeah.
But
they won't come challenge you because
no, of course they won't.
Common sense, or I should say their ideas break down under common sense.
Anyone that would oppose wanting peace and love and harmony and for all of us to have an abundance of food and energy and to flourish and
having our children have grit and resolve.
If you're against that, then fuck you.
Yeah, it's why these people like
enemy.
Gavin Newsom won't go on.
That.
You'll never get Gavin Newsom on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, fuck
because he would have to actually, and he couldn't do it in a 15. If you have 15-second sound bites, you can be like, well, I just want to really push for fight against climate change. But if you have to sit down for 2 hours and explain yourself, and you're just completely full of shit, you can't do it. And that's why they won't. You can't get these guys onto the long form interviews.
Bro, I think
they don't want that. They don't want like Avatar.
It's exposure.
Us, right?
This is a good segue into what I think should be the final topic, because we're not a super long podcast, but I have to go teach jiu-jitsu here in a little bit. We're rapidly reaching a point where the people, like you said, if you're not down with love and strength and raising strong children and having good morals, if you're not down with that, the time is coming where we're going to fucking have to kill you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That time is coming.
Yeah.
And that sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But more and more people, like, I've been talking to a lot of people in pretty high positions, which is bizarre to me because I'm just me, right?
Yeah.
But because of the platform, because some notoriety, I've gotten connected with the right people, bro. And an email that I get often is, when is go time? When is go time? We fucking had it with society. We fucking had it with society. I hear that constantly.
Yeah.
I can tell you that you're not alone.
No.
And there are people that are in very powerful positions, far above anything that I've ever been a part of, that have also fucking had it. And what we're finding is a lot of men are in a position right now where they are showing an incredible amount of fucking self-control and an incredible amount of just the ability to endure, because the second the gloves come off, the world will never be the same.
Never.
Your life will never be the same.
No, there's been times I've told Vanessa that when the time comes, I will say goodbye to all of the kids, to her, and say I'm not coming home until either I'm dead and I'm in a fucking wherever, or this country's free.
And bro,
That's it.
the reason that I bring this up is because so many more fucking people feel that way than we're led to believe. Yeah. You post anything like that online, you're an extremist, and it's taken down and it's shadow banned. So we don't get to see the amount of men that are just like us.
Yeah.
I posted a thing about on Instagram called the man that just wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's what it is. The man that wants to love his woman, wants to raise his kids, wants to have enough wealth to be able to enjoy his day-to-day life and buy or build his house and have a fucking car. Like, just the fucking necessities of living an enjoyable life. Outside of that, leave me the fuck alone. And the man that want to be left alone, they're the ones that when you give us no more options, now I want to be left alone. Now you're telling me that I can't.
You're murdering the life I wanted.
Yes.
That's it. Because when I go to work, I built all of this, what I have now, off of going to work for somebody else, a good job, and getting paid a decent amount of money that I've spent my essentially entire adult career trying to obtain. Yeah. Okay. Now that I am where I am, with the price of everything going up, I'm broke. I'm broke. And I'm in the upper echelons of the entire world. And no, I'm not rich, but most people don't make
6-figure income.
No.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
And so if I'm broke, then how is everyone else feeling right now?
We've got to be entering into like a spree of crimes of desperation.
Yes. And if it keeps going up any further, then, if it's $7, $8, $9, $10, I've seen maybe the price of oil per barrel going up to like 380, which would make $15 about per gallon.
The WEF released a statement. It was either today or yesterday saying the only way to save democracy is or it's good for democracy to raise the price of gasoline.
Right, because of their fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but it's crazy that they're so open about it, and then people will still be like, these guys are fucking conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, no.
But they're literally like broadcasting it.
And if it keeps going, which it is going to, then when I go to work and it costs me, like, it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
I actually will save money by not driving and going out and just continue to build my farm essentially at the house.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do about my mortgage. And I don't know about the truck payments and shit like that. But at what point does that stop?
So, bro, this is a quick Google search because remember we were talking about it. And I said, when you look at a global population, somebody that makes $100,000 has to be in the top 1%.
Yeah.
And according to the global income distribution, like fucking surveys that they did between 2002 and 2013, it was a 10-year study. They said 100K income puts you above the top 1% earners on planet Earth.
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
So, I mean, and I'll look up the US next to see how much that changes, right? But just like you're saying, we're making pretty good fucking money right now, and beef is up 300%, gas is up fucking 500% or whatever it is, and it's like, if this is hurting our checkbooks, there's so many fucking people that aren't, like, I look at the trajectory of this stuff and I think I'm going to be fucked. I bet there's plenty of people that are fucked right now.
Yeah.
There are neighbors in here.
Yeah.
They're already 2 months late on their truck payments.
Like, this shit's happening, bro.
Right now. And people are fucking stressed, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yes,
you can walk around.
The air is electric.
Oh, and then they got CERN going on, which who fucking even knows what that does or whatever. All I know is that we got a lot of shit. We got a fucking whole war going on right now, and some people know we're in it, such as us, and whoever's listening to this. No, 100% we are in a fucking spiritual war that's about to become a physical famine war.
Yeah.
Energy war.
Yeah.
And then you have the other population that's literally in a parallel universe that,
as long as Netflix is running, they're happy.
Yeah, they don't even.
That's even in the WEF literature. We'll control people with what, video games and drugs, right?
Yeah.
Goddamn, they print it, and But you're a conspiracy theorist.
All right. So then now, I mean, this is a Google search. So he doesn't have that data right. That's because I'm just reading a fucking thing off of Google. So shut the fuck up. No, this is from.
Is that from Google?
Yeah.
I just seen something earlier today about the CEO of Google. His name's Nate Higgers.
I don't know.
Well, I laughed at it. I said, Nate Higgers. Huh.
All right.
That was a meme.
That was a meme?
Yeah. Or is it real? Like, you'll have to look that up when we're off. That's a real thing.
I'll look it up right now. But according to this, it says 30% of American households break 100,000 and 10% break 200,000.
Okay.
So it's like when you compare American wealth to worldwide health,
yeah,
it's fucking drastically different, right? But still, it's still the top fucking 30%. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
But we also rely on like these fragile systems too. Like the places where people make 15 cents a month, they provide all those base level, you know what I mean? They're fishing in the Mekong Delta and growing rice in their backyards. And we're reliant on refrigerated trucks and grocery stores and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Why is acting CEO of Google racist? Nate Higgers' name becomes a meme.
That is an unfortunate. Whose dad named him Nate?
Yeah, bro. What the fuck, dude? Oh, it's Nathan. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
He's either just oblivious or he has a real dark sense of humor, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude. The last thing that I want to say is I'm sure you guys have seen all the Hunter Biden stuff, right?
Oh, dude.
Bro, I seen a fucking.
He calls his dad Pedo Pete. Like,
bro.
How long have I been telling you these motherfuckers are pedophiles? This all goes back to child trafficking,
bro,
sex trafficking.
His dad's contact info in his phone.
I thought it was a joke when I first saw a few pictures online.
I posted it.
I didn't realize that he actually can't, like, when they hacked his phone.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Biden's name in his phone is Pedo Pete.
Yeah.
And bro,
he's the leader of the free world.
Bro.
Pedo Pete.
Every fucking video he's weighing crack and he's skinny dipping with fucking young girls.
Dude, I seen a porno today of him fucking Melania Trump. And I was like, it didn't even look CGI or anything, dude.
I'm catching up to all that.
Listen, my buddy Joe goes, Tyler, have you seen the leaked sex video of Melania Trump and Hunter Biden? I go, wait, Trump's wife and Hunter Biden?
No.
He showed it to me at lunchtime. And it looks so fucking real. It does not look CGI at all. I go, if this is a deep fake, do you know what deep fakes are?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Or CGI. Like, if this is not real, then I can't trust.
Which it's not.
It can't be.
Then I can't.
Yeah.
Which it's not.
Yeah,
okay?
bro. I mean, look at fucking Avatar.
I'm gonna send it
Avatar,
to you.
bro.
I'm going to send it to you. You will be like, there's no way that this is tampered with. Okay.
But that's the whole point of the deep fake.
That's the whole point, is that if it's not, which it is not, then anything we've seen on any television or any video, you have no fucking idea if it was real or not.
What's bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And bro,
is now an okay time to announce that this podcast is a deep fake? Greg writes these scripts.
I know. Well, he's a Freemason.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I know about the New World Order, is because I go talk to Greg.
But bro, think about this, dude. Think about this. Like, the way that people are able to be controlled through propaganda in today's world, where they do have control of all the social media, they have control of all the news. Bro, how fucking hard would it have been to control people through propaganda in the 50s?
When only they had a radio and a newspaper. Here it is.
Guess what, guys? This is what we're printing today.
Yeah.
Roger this, right? So now Tyler's going to laugh because he's going to be like, yeah, I fucking told you, motherfuckers. But now I want to revisit everything.
Yes.
Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking, or there's that documentary that came out called, about Adolf Hitler on BitChute. What's it called again?
Yeah, the greatest story never told.
The greatest story never told, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, Greg Anderson said that he thinks Hitler's a good guy on his podcast. Shut the fuck up.
No,
that's not what I said.
That.
What I said is the stories that we have been told and what we read in our history books, man, I think it's time to really question everything.
The winners write the history books.
Yeah, because what we now know, this is no longer a fucking conspiracy theory. What we now know to be fact is that corrupt people that are in charge manipulate the narrative.
Yep.
We know that now.
Yep.
Right? Fucking like CNN's COVID death counter and like all the silly shit, right?
Jay Inslee in his summer of we're heading into the summer of death.
Okay, so now that I know when corruption is in charge and they manipulate the narrative, well, how long has that been happening? Since the fucking beginning of time?
Yep.
I mean,
certainly.
fuck, man.
Yeah.
And now it's like everything that I thought that I knew, I might be wrong about all of it.
Yeah.
And bro, I've talked about this with a lot of my veteran friends. I don't know if I've talked about it on the air or not, but like I used to take offense as a ranger that was deploying all the time to people that were saying like, oh, you just fighting for fucking the military industrial complex and 9/11 was fucking all fake and it was an inside job to get you guys over there. And it's like, fuck you, man. This is my life.
Yeah.
You know? Well, this is my life. It's just an emotional response.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
A logical response is, well, what makes you think that?
Yeah.
What have you seen? What have you heard? And bro, now more than ever, what have you seen and what have you heard? Because everything we've been fucking fed over the last 24 months, 100% a lie.
Yep.
So now it's probably everything we've been fed over the last 24 years, 100% a lie.
Yeah.
And I deployed 14 fucking times for your lie.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Only to help enslave humanity, really, right?
Yeah, bro. And it's like, because I've talked about that openly on Instagram, and a lot of guys are like, bro, a young warrior seeks war, and it has nothing to do with the political corruption and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, and I agree with that too. When it comes down to individual boots on the ground, I'm trying to shoot you, and you're trying to shoot me. Really? It's just young men that want to get fucking
Get
down.
after it.
It's why I hate that fucking sheepdog metaphor. Is because people are like, "Oh, you guys are sheepdog." Like, no, man, we were wolves that just wanted a little bit of justification.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But now these dumb motherfuckers trained you guys
Yeah.
to become
Motherfuckers.
now your EQ and your IQ are up here, and now they want to try and
Tear you
fight
back
us.
down.
Yeah,
So it's
good
like,
luck.
man, you don't create
You know, it's funny,
monsters and then have them turn on you.
Bro, you can't create fucking monsters and then fucking just lock them in a room when you're ready, when you don't want them around anymore. We're fucking here.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And we're still fucking hungry.
yeah.
Because
They
you
didn't
fucking,
wait long
yeah,
enough.
You didn't fucking wait
Should have
long
waited
enough.
another 20 years till you guys were 60.
And bro, that fucking day where the veterans community has fucking had enough.
Yeah.
Bro, it could be very, very fucking detrimental.
I need all
to
you
their
guys to get together and
to
figure
their
it out.
fucking their position and the agenda that they're pushing.
We know it's awesome, dude. It was when they started rattling like the gun control saber a few months back. I finally like drew my line in the sand where I was like, when I first said I'm not going to claim a boat accident or try to fucking hide him in the woods. I'm just saying no.
Yeah.
And you can come fight me for him. And I mean that. Like, I'd rather you didn't, but they're staying in my safe where they live.
Yeah.
And that's
They're
not up
yours.
for negotiation. And ever since I drew my own personal line in the sand, I feel very positive about this. Because before I was like, well, how far are they really going to fucking try to take this and crush society? And there was a lot of unknown. Now I've
Fuck yeah,
you know
bro.
what I mean? The day I decided that here's my line.
Well, it's free, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very free.
I've been
That's-
feeling so fucking positive.
That's
the
a
last
great
2.5
fucking point
months.
because once you draw hard lines in the sand and you look at yourself in the mirror and you determine where I fucking stand on this and what will push me over the edge or what I'll try to negotiate diplomatically, like understand who you are and where you're at.
Yeah,
I can fucking relax
Yeah,
now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't have to agonize over this anymore.
Yep.
I found it. I'm
Fuck
there.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing I want you to say, because I got to go open the gym and teach people shin on shin sweeps.
Fuck yeah.
Give a shout out to your Training Northwest that you're doing out on our property.
Oh
now.
shit! Yeah, we totally forgot. All right, so Greg and I guess we're buying into a partnership now out on your property, and we have a range, and I have a small training company called Training Northwest. You can find it at trainingnorthwestllc.com. We've run just a handful of courses at this point, but what's been really nice is that everybody who's come out has at the end been smiling and like, dude, fuck yeah, I'm so glad I did this. So, and I always say, like, people will spend, I don't understand this, you guys, some people have unending budget for stuff and equipment that they don't know how to use. I see guys come out there with $700 rifles who they're shooting the same tight group as anybody out there with a $7,000 rifle. So if you're looking at your budget, spend your budget on yourself, not Gucci equipment that you can't use.
Yeah. Fuck, what was I going to say? I had a point on your new business. Oh yes, it's this. I haven't attended a course yet or been out there to witness it, but from what I see, I'm assuming that you're taking a very similar approach to our training methodology in that don't come out there thinking you're going to be Jason Bourne in a weekend. I'm going to teach you the fundamentals of marksmanship, basic weapon manipulation, basic malfunction drills, basically fucking run the gun and feed the gun.
Day one infantry.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, if you think that is something that will behoove you when the apocalypse comes, and it will, fucking check him out. And he has an Instagram as well with that just Training Northwest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll give him a shout out because I actually attended.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were.
I attended, and I'm new. I'm green to shooting, and I feel already 10 times better. And this isn't sucking your dick. I literally feel 10 times more comfortable practicing, like dry firing in my garage or outside wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
I went up there with Kozak the next day and was hitting on target like
fuck yeah, very
good.
Nice.
A lot better than the day before. Yeah. And I was like,
experience breeds confidence, and then you just keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for that. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah. All right. So as that develops, I'll continue to put things out, and we eventually want to make that a viable fucking training site, where we can really increase a lot of people's capabilities within the community. Other than that, any last thoughts? All right. Fuck you guys. We're out.